Well, now to a shocking admission in the world of professional tennis. Maria Sharapova has been provisionally banned after announcing she failed a drug test. The tennis star tested positive for the recently banned substance meldonium at the Australian Open. She says that she had been using the drug legally for 10 years and did not realise that it was now prohibited. Sharapova faces a possible 4-year suspension pending the outcome of an investigation. Well, some of Sharapova's sponsors are lining up to cut ties with her. Our Alison Kosik has more on the company suspending their endorsements. And Alison, Nike, of course, we know, worked with Sharapova since she was 11 years old. They are suspending the multi-million-dollar deal they had, and they're not the only one.
That's right, Linda. What's interesting is that a lot of these endorsements that she has with a lot of these companies have wasted little time in, suspending their relationship with her. And you mentioned Nike. There's, of course, Porsche as well. Porsche saying we're postponing all planned sponsorship activities. There's the Swiss watch brand Tag Heuer suspending negotiations to extend their sponsorship with her. That sponsorship deal actually ran out last year. They were in the middle of negotiating, new terms, and they just said, you know what, we're going to put this on hold until we find out what's really going to happen with this investigation, because the way authorities see it, it could take a couple of months before they come up with their verdict. But Nike is really interesting. You mentioned that one because Nike has had really deep ties with Maria Sharapova. She's actually in the middle of an 8-year deal worth $70 million. She really is the face of women's tennis clothing for Nike. But you said it, she has had a long partnership with Nike since she was 11 years old. But interesting how Nike wasted little time in coming out and saying, we're going to go ahead and separate ourselves from this until we learn more. Linda?
Yeah, looking at that timing, do you think their sponsors are being fair, given it took Nike years to cut ties with Lance Armstrong during his investigation into doping?
Lance Armstrong is just one of them. It does sort of seem like there could be a double standard, or at least feel like there is. I mean, as you said, it took years for Nike to cut ties with Lance Armstrong, who was embroiled in that doping scandal. It still has yet to cut ties with the FIFA entity involved in the corruption scandal. And then you look at Tiger Woods. Nike actually kept its sponsorship deal with Tiger Woods after all those headlines about his infidelities. You look at Michael Vick at the beginning of his dogfighting scandal. They initially let him go, but then put him back on with sponsorship deals. Kobe Bryant actually kept his sponsorship deal with Nike, despite the fact that he was charged with sexual assault in 2003. Now, those charges were dropped. But you see this sort of pause happening with the men, not necessarily coming out the way so quickly they did with Maria Sharapova to let her loose, but with the men, they sort of are giving the benefit of the doubt with many of these men. I find it kind of interesting. However, I look at Oscar Pistorius. You do see Nike cutting ties with Oscar Pistorius pretty quickly there. Linda?
Yeah, that is a good point. Alison Kosik, live for us in New York.
Sure.
Thank you very much.